Welcome to Tech Talk, episode 11. Unreal Engine 5.3 release is now available. I tested World Partition large height map import on it, and it still gives the max 2D texture error with anything larger than 16K. There has not been any published information on how the new UE5.3 import successive batch system is supposed to work. And from what I have found searching the internet, no one has figured it out yet either. Leave it up to Epic to put some odd hidden feature into their engine and then never document it, if it is even there at all. If and when I figure out how it works, I will update you on it and create a dedicated video. I constantly get asked by people whether a project that I have worked on or created was using Nanite. This can be sometimes frustrating, as many people don't seem to realize that Nanite has specific use cases. The comment on Epic's Nanite documentation page that states that Nanite should be used whenever possible should be tempered with the information that follows it that states, more specifically, a mesh that contains many triangles or scenes with many instances. To quote the actual Epic page on Nanite, performance should be carefully measured for any combination of content and hardware. Nanite still has limited uses and should always be profiled before using it within a full game package. Not doing so can incur performance drops up to 15% or more. I recently released an in-depth video where I spent days testing Nanite performance in many different scenarios, and the results were quite clear. Nanite should only be enabled for really large triangle count meshes or where there are many tens of thousands of meshes in the scene. I have 5 test computers, with 2 that I use to make sure that my game designs will run on the most common hardware, as shown on the Steam hardware survey. I always make sure that my game designs can get a solid 30 frames per second at 1920 by 1080 and 40 frames per second or more at 1280 by 720 on computers that are the level of the most common in use. I'm not saying don't use Nanite, I'm saying use it correctly and respectfully. Since Unreal Engine 5.3 release, I've been performing a number of tests using the new Nanite landscape feature. Unfortunately, the results have been less than stellar. The Nanite versions of the large landscapes have actually been slower than the standard landscape by typically 10% to 15%. I have yet to determine whether this is an issue with the new Nanite landscape system itself or something incorrect in my tests. I will continue performing additional tests to see if they are all comparable. I typically perform dozens of landscape creations and tests every month. I still have more Nanite tests in the works. I plan on testing even more and different map designs with the system to further solidify the delineation between when it should and shouldn't be used. Now to the subject of TerreSculptor. I am currently working on a set of additional generators for creating more shapes for masks and objects. These generators can be used for many features in TerreSculptor, including the new dozer and reshape devices that are coming out in the next build. I should have a new release in a couple of weeks with a massive number of changes and new features. After this next release will be more work on additional geology devices. This has been Tech Talk with Demenzun Media. Later, eh?